Greetings, Commanders! Today I've got to propose an inconvenient truth to follow up my last video about the Valentine's Day event. Look, this new Wild Rose weapon is awesome. I've got one. I'm going to show you it today. I'm going to show it off, and I'm going to explain to you up front why I'm making this video. There is 1 day left to the Valentine's Day, 24 hours or less from the time I release this video. You need to send your roses to the number 1, 2, or 3 player in your guild. They should get 2 wild roses and the new Arc Called Dawn. In order to make the Arc Called Dawn, they need the wild rose. It costs 6 roses. Each wild rose is 6 roses, 18 roses. Everyone else that doesn't have tier 12 and hasn't spent $20,000 on the game, you don't need roses. You don't need this weapon. You don't need the Arc Call. In fact, this is a free weapon, and it's a super, super late game weapon. You don't even have to pay for it. Your guild members can give it to you. Everyone can get 1 or 2 roses for free. But they got to be willing to help their number 1 or number 2 or number 3 in their guild. And someone posted this on YouTube, and I want to share it with you guys because I totally get where he's coming from, but this is the wrong way to approach it. So Bahika Nation commented on the Valentine's Day event in 3 minutes. He said, "Yeah, let's spend money to increase the strength of the 3 strongest, LOL." Well, I responded to him. I was like, yeah, that's the idea. Remember, those 3 have spent more than the entire guild combined. And he says, yeah, true, but how will I get stronger if I'm spending my money making other people stronger? Sounds like an in-game pyramid scheme. Listen, you can't use the Wild Rose. You don't have enough gear to use the Wild Rose. And I'm going to explain in this video, so bear with me. Even if you think it's really great for you to get this item because you'll use it one day, listen, if you haven't dropped 20 grand, you don't need this item. You don't need it one day. People with tier 12 that go against super defense commanders like Elf, Reinhardt, and Rogers are really going to benefit from it, but everyone else, probably not. It's a super late game specialized weapon. Okay. All right, I think I pretty much covered the intro. It's a super late game weapon. Give it to your main spenders. They need it. It's free. They don't have to pay for it. Everyone can give it to them. All right, let's talk about stats. As far as raw stats are concerned, it kind of sucks. Total attack at level 13 is 46%. It goes up 2 per level. So if it's level 13 now, at level 40, I mean, what is that? 80% more? I mean, at most. It's going to be, I mean, think of a Titan. It has a straight 80% on a max roll Titan, which is what all the high levels are using. And it gets 8% per level. So just raw attack alone, this thing hits 3 times less hard with attack. And then there's a little strength and weaken effects, which is nice. And then total penetration. So the strength and weaken effect, I kind of consider that more of a defensive skill. You're not really going to go immune with that total strength and weakened. You're not going to use it in a SWE build with tier 12 because tier 12 ignores SWE. So really it kind of just adds more dodge to you. And then it has this penetration stat, this new stat, and it's 4% per level. So, get it all the way to level 40. You're going to get, I don't even know. I haven't even done the math on it. We can calculate it real quick. What is it? 0.4 times, uh-oh. Bear with me, guys. 0.4 times 26. 10.4 plus 9.6 maxes out at it doesn't max out. At level 20, at level 40, it's 20% armor penetration. Okay, so I don't know how many minutes into this video, but I feel like we're finally starting to talk about the item itself. Now that I've explained that it's really not that good unless you have a ton of late game high level gear and a ton of late game troops and you go against high level players. If you look at it just raw stats wise, it's not that great. It is a 20% total defense penetration. So let's say your opponent has max research in advance. It has airships in front of them with max defense. Whenever you hit with melee damage on this weapon, not spell damage, melee damage, it's going to just ignore 20% of that. Well, okay, that's good. Does it stack with another Wild Rose? It says it does, and then it says it doesn't, according to the staff. I'm assuming it does, but it won't apparently stack with Vega's Breakdown. Now, I will admit at this point, this is an entry-level video. I expect Wild Rose and Dawn to be the next meta shift for the super high-level players, but we don't have the proof yet that it actually is. I think we'll start seeing it more in the future. As of right now, it just kind of makes sense that they would give this penetration skill to everyone else. Apparently Vegas Breakdown works like penetration, except Vegas Breakdown can cap out at 120% ignore defense. So when he goes over 100%, that extra 20% just turns into raw damage. That's what they said in a patch a while back. And it kind of makes sense. Vega definitely seems like he just ignores defense and just blasts them full hit. And penetration is a step towards that. So if you had 2 of these weapons at level 40, that'd be 40% ignore penetration, or ignore defense penetration, and then you'd have another, where is it? Where's the Dawn Hall? 15% on the Hall. So it's feasible that you could get over 55% with 2 level 40 items and a max level Hall. But you do lose a lot of base attack. But base attack isn't so great when your opponent has so much defense. Now, I feel like I could talk in circles forever about that concept. Do you get it? The higher your opponent's defense is, no matter how much bonus attack you get, there is a tapering off effect where it's just better to have ignore straight defense percentage-wise. That's why Breakdown and Vega got so good and passed Golem in Season 3 and 4, because Tier 11 and Tier 12 started having so much defense, it was better to... It didn't matter how much bonus attack you have, they had so much defense it just mitigated the majority of it. Well, that's what this really does. That's the whole idea of it. But if you're not using Tier 11 and Tier 12, it's better to just have Titans and do raw damage. And I'm going to show you exactly how that works. Today we're taking Kid out for a run. He's got a Titan and an Apocalyptor. We're using Apocalyptor because of the crit gems. Remember, in Ace of Galaxies, you don't get your Research or your Arc Hall. So we're getting crit from our gems here to make sure we crit every time for consistent results. And then we're going to compare a level 30 Titan with 2 attack gems versus a level 13 Wild Rose. Without gems, mind you. But I want you to notice how significant the difference is, that it doesn't even matter that I'm not using the gems. So I'm going to put Kid on with the 1 unit of Tier 10, and I'm just going to make him attack this same lucky opponent that I found in Ace of Galaxy that is running a full geared Reinhardt with Tier 9 airships in the front. So thank you to A76 Marine for being the guinea pig here. All right, so I've ran this test many times. The average hit on an unbuffed Reinhardt, he can give himself cancer and what is it called? Not Constellation. Hyperspace armor. That ignores damage. So that usually reduces damage about 25%. So this hit should be about 15,000. So it's 16,400. 16,400. We'll do it one more time just for the sake of the video. But our average hit on an unbuffed Reinhardt's Tier 9 airships there should be about 21,000. We had as low as 19, as high as 21, which is a pretty tight grouping. That's within 10%. Usually it's within 30%. But anyway, I was able to get some tight groupings. Did he just hit a hyperspace? No, he has no buff there. All right, so 16,900. Yeah, he might have hit a buff there. Anyway, 17,000. That was really low. We'll do it one more time because I wasn't paying attention and I was talking too much. I don't know why I got the pen out and I'm pointing at the camera, but I'll throw that away for a second. All right, one more time. No buff. No. There's the cancer. Dang it. All right, so we're going to hit again for 15. A cancer, man, about 25% reduced damage there. So there it is, 16,000. Now that's with the pure damage Titan. Considering there's nothing else to compare it to yet, that seems low. But it's just a number. We don't know exactly what it is. So I'm going to take that weapon, swap it for the Wild Rose. Remember, I'm losing not only 200% attack, but another 50% because of gems. So in total, I'm losing 240% attack, but I'm picking up 9% penetration and a little strength and weakened. So this 210% attack I just lost is going to show up in this replay. Now watch this. Place your bets as I go to pick Kid again and reset his gear. Remember, whenever you change gear, you have to re-pick the commander and reset their army. So how hard do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be more? Do you think it's going to be less? If you think it's going to be more, you haven't been listening to the intro. All right, so here it is. Same guy, A76 Marine. Kid with Tier 10 infantry and the Wild Rose instead of the Titan. Here comes the damage. Constellation Blessing and Awakening. So no defense buffs. 5,800. 5,800. That's consistent with my results. It's actually slightly higher. So with the Titan, we were hitting for around 20,000. Without the Titan and we picked up the Wild Rose, we're hitting for 5,000. Think it's a fluke? We'll run it again. So it just goes to show you that the Wild Rose weapon really isn't going to do anything for me. It's always going to benefit me until I get into tier 11, tier 12 to just run Titans. There's a 4,700. 4,700. I mean, come on. How many more replays do you need to watch? Yes, I know that he is not getting the benefit of his defense, but I'm also not getting the benefit of my attack. I think the point of penetration is to show off how much it does against his defense. So these results cannot be trusted too much. And there's still a lot to be discovered about the Wild Rose weapon. So if you sat through this whole video to hear me out and hear what the community's talked about, I appreciate you. Thanks for sticking around. I want to give a special shout out to Krylar from the Theory Crafters Think Tank and Discord. He's always just doing great math, figuring this stuff out. Always bugging the devs, trying to get as much info as possible. And thanks to guys like Krillian and everyone else who spread it around. It's because of their help that we come to these conclusions so quickly. Now, of course, there's always room for more information. What we know right now is that they told us penetration doesn't stack. And then I saw a report that penetration does stack. I'm assuming it stacks. But it also doesn't stack with Vega, apparently. No proof on that yet because I don't have a level 50 breakdown Vega. But once I get that information, or if you have the proof, submit it on YouTube, link me to it, message me online, and I'll share it with the community. Happy to shout out anyone that's willing to do research and share it with the rest of us. So that covers the Wild Rose. This is the part of the video where I tell you, give away your Wild Roses. This event's going to come around again. It's not just going to be a Valentine's Day event. They're not just going to release the newest, best items in the game for free. Remember, these are technically free. And then never again. They are going to come again, probably a month from now, maybe 2 months from now, but they do circle around, especially because this is going to be meta-defining for the late game guys. If a guy was out of town on holiday, didn't play his phone, but he's been playing for 2 years and he misses this, I mean, they're not going to punish a super late game player. It's going to come back. So send your roses to your number one players. If you don't have any roses, make chocolates. Send the chocolates to the number one players. So I don't know who on my team needs it. I know JDB's got it. I know another guy's close. So I'm going to ask, but tomorrow or today, ask around. What should I do with my roses? Don't be selfish. Don't turn them into A commanders. Give them to your super late game players that are spending the money, making the push so that they can represent your guild in the galactic battle because they need those weapons. They need that hull, and they need you to help them get it. So, all right. That's the end of the Wild Rose Dawn video for now. We will retouch this later, but I want to do a special segment today. I'm calling this bonus replay because, when I was looking for that Reinhardt to show in Ace of Galaxies, I was originally running it with Plasma just to make sure he had his gear on. I wanted to send an army at him to make sure I could actually, I wasn't just hitting someone who was ungeared because that wouldn't be a good test. I needed defense on the gear to show the Wild Rose damage. Anyway, so I take my Plasma into Ace of Galaxies. I run a Plasma like a bomb mostly on HP in the helm with attack on the gems, dodge, and then HP in the chest, dodge, all the way to the pants. I'm a dodger Plasma, combat Plasma. Then I run 2 Titans for pure damage. I use Sagittarius and Gemini. Is it Sagittarius? No, yeah. No, I use Libra and Gemini for guaranteed hit. And he's a pretty standard Plasma. He's a little bit of bomb, a little bit of combat, kind of mixed between. I find him useful for pretty much everything. Fair fights and fights where I'm totally outgunned, he's very useful. So I'm going to go ahead and take this Plasma and fight A76's Reinhardt. I want you to just think, how bad do you think I'm going to beat this Reinhardt? I've only got 38 or 10,000 leadership. He's got 150,000 or so. 150,000 versus 10,000. But I'm running a higher tier troop, and he's not running tier 9 in all slots. Place your bets. Place your bets. Now, as this replay goes, I will remind you that when Plasma's killed by spells, he doesn't trigger his bomb. So, A76 triggers Hyperspace, which is the Thorns ability, and it kills me. Plasma does not explode. This is a bad start. So he triggers Light of Aquarius. I think that lowers my attack damage, which would lower my bomb. So I'm able to trigger Libra. That's nice. And I'm able to knock down some tier 6. But notice how I didn't one-shot that tier 6. I only took out about 30% of it. Considering my gear, that's pretty impressive. He's got some great damage gear on. And look at that heal. since I'm not one-shotting him, he's going to be able to get the benefit of that heal every now and again. So far, not too bad. I'm still in this, but not looking good. Oh, spell damage. I didn't blow up. So this is, even for me, I was really surprised by this result. There we go. There's a little Libra damage. Finally killed a slot. But I really expected to win this because I still have 2-piece Libra. I have 10% tear suppression, right? So I'm tear suppressing every slot, but not to its fullest. I'm tear suppressing the tier 6 40% and the tier 5 50%. If I put a different chess piece on it, I'd have a completely different result. But I thought this was interesting because it goes to show you the power of Reinhardt, his heal, his defense. Remember, his hyperspace armor is not only thorns, it also reduces damage taken. So Reinhardt is quite good as a commander. He's really best against Rogers. Kind of gets his butt kicked by Elf, but there's a little bit of back and forth there, and he gets his butt kicked by all the one-slot bus commanders. But he is a cool commander. I do like Reinhardt. So anyway, I wanted to share that replay with you guys, and that's it. That's it. Best Valentine's Day event ever. Valentine's Day is the best holiday ever. If you learned anything else about the Wild Rose, send it to me. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to tell your guildmates, subscribe. We're on our way to 5,000 subscribers. We're a few hundred away, so we're so close. Share the channel, share the video with somebody. I want to hit that mark. I don't know why. I just do. 5,000, it's a big number. Never thought I'd be there. But yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.